Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Tuesday, May 28th, 2019. We had one NHL game yesterday. The Bruins won Game 1 of the Stanley Cup over the Blues. And then we had a number of baseball games. Well, we already got a call. What's going on?
What's going on, Zach? Yesterday, you missed the 62.
What was the 62?
Hold on, let me go back to your notes. Okay, let me look at it. Where is it? Somebody was going to get their 60-second win in the series. I don't have it.
Are you talking about for the playoffs, the Stanley Cup?
Yeah. Who got? I'm trying to go back because they was at 61 and they could have got the 62nd.
I'm scanning for a 62. Are you saying 62 because it's the reflection of 26 and we had the 26 date numerology?
No, if you had something 61, it was so much, and then I saw it at NBC equals 62. So Bruins got the win. Plus, also, this why the coach stayed on 12. The Blues coach got his 12th loss because TD Garden equals 37. 37 is the 12th prime. So they got to come back to game 2 in the TD Garden. So he was gonna walk in with the 12.
Okay.
And he was going to stay up 12 wins with the Blues, which he did. Because TD Garden equals 37, the 12th prime.
Okay. I didn't see. Oh, yeah. The Bruins Bruins got their 62nd win of the season.
Yep.
Okay.
NBC equals 62.
But isn't NBC showing all the games?
No.
No?
The next game is on NBC SN.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's the little secrets, man. I try not to say it because sometimes it jinxes me, and I don't try to be selfish because I gave a lot of stuff, but that's just, stuff like that happens. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, got to pay attention to the little stuff like the primes and stuff. Like today, like with the Pirates game, if you could see it real quick, Jordan Lyles is 5-1 for the season. Jordan Lyles is pitching against the Cincinnati Reds today in Cincinnati. Cincinnati equals 51. Jordan Lyles walked in 5-1.
Right, we're seeing a lot of that, yeah.
Yep, and today's 52-day numerology. So, like today, I look for 10 and 6 as well, because everything goes by the Bible and shit. So, like prophecy, 106 and 52. So I look for 10. In my opinion, what I look for is 10 and 6 and 38, 3 and 8 and shit like that. So,
All right. Yeah. Appreciate it. All right, thanks. Okay. So let's review yesterday's games. There was only a couple I liked in baseball yesterday. I liked the Yankees to give the Padres their 26th loss. So that was the date numerology, and Yankees is 26. But hold on, let's just go through this. There were a lot of riddles that did conflict with the potential 26 wins and losses yesterday. I said if the Pirates won the first game of the doubleheader, look for them to win the second and become 26 and 26. That happened. Diamondbacks picked up their 26th loss, but hold on, let me make these notes bigger here so everyone can read them. And we'll go through these games real quick, and then we'll talk about today's games. So again, yesterday had the 71-44-26 date numerology in the primary methods. And we said look for a World Series riddle yesterday. It ended up being the death of Dave Buckner. World Series equals 69 and 147. He died at age 69. I put out a video yesterday on that. Probably had something to do with Boston winning Game 1 of the Stanley Cup as well. Let's go down to the baseball here. So we saw yesterday that Scherzer had a chance to become 2-6. That didn't happen to him, but his team did end up losing. Urania also came in 2-6 on the 26th date. And the one thing that was standing out about the Nationals is they were at 116 wins against the Marlins, and Memorial Day equals 116. We said, could they stay there on 116? And they ended up doing that. They ended up staying on 116 wins against the Marlins on Memorial Day. The Nationals manager's next win will be his 105th. Nationals is 105. And what else was interesting about yesterday's game is Don Mattingly, the Marlins manager, he was on 235 career wins with the Marlins. Washington Nationals equals 235. If he would have lost, he would have stayed on it, but he advanced to 236 by getting that win yesterday. So yesterday the Yankees rallied. They were down 2-0. I thought that was a good time to bet them when they were down 2-0 because they had the riddle yesterday. Yankees 26 date. There wasn't really anything obstructing. And we talked about if the Yankees sweep the Padres, Aaron Boone will get his 137th win as a manager. San Diego Padres equals 137. This entire series will line up with the date numerology if the Padres lose in a sweep. The Tigers and the Orioles ended up winning here. We saw that the pitcher for the Orioles with a win, he could get to 4-4. We also saw that the Tigers pitcher with a loss could get his 20th loss on the 71 date numerology, 71, the 20th prime. So the pitchers, it lined up on both sides with the date in favor of the Orioles. However, the problem was with the records, the Tigers could have got their 20th win and the Orioles could have got their 20th home loss. So it made that dicey like we covered yesterday. Let's see. The Rays could have picked up their 20th loss yesterday on the 71 date. They did not do that. Again, I said yesterday, that's why I just prefer it when you're not matching up through the prime numbers and it's just like 26th win on the 26th date or 26th loss. The prime number relationship was there, but it didn't come through. The Pirates did win the first game yesterday, and I said if that happened, that would be a good sign to bet the Reds for game 2 to make them 26-26. That ended up happening. Pirates fell to 26-26 yesterday on the 26th date. Cubs and Astros. Let me see. We talked about how the Cubs pitcher, he had a chance to become 4-1. Houston's 41. The pitcher for the Astros, his record could have made sense with a win or a loss. The Astros had a chance to pick up their 20th loss on the 71 day. And yeah, it wasn't clear. Oh yeah, the one big thing for the Astros was they were on 147 losses at home versus the Cubs, and it was the 147th day of the year. So they stayed on those 147 losses on the 147th day. Keep in mind, today's the 148th day of the year. Today they could pick up the 148th loss. The Diamondbacks-Rockies game. The Diamondbacks had a chance at getting their 26th loss on the 26th date. They did. And we saw that Greinke came in with 193 wins, the 44th prime on the 44 day. So you know what? The Rockies manager's next losses is 888. If you multiply 148 times 6, it's 888. Today's the 148th day of the year. So that's a gematria relationship. It's also, I guess, a mathematical relationship. If the Rockies did lose today, he would get 888. But again, the Diamondbacks are going to have a chance at their 27th loss today on the 27 date numerology, and the Rockies would stay at 27 losses on the 27 date. Okay, Indians and Red Sox. The Red Sox had a chance to pick up their 26th loss yesterday on the 26th date, but there was something conflicting. It was that the Red Sox pitcher, Porcello, he could become 4-4 on the 44 date, and the Red Sox could become 4-4 against the Indians on the 44 date. So that was one of the conflicted 26 riddles. Notice today the Indians will have a chance to become 27-27 on the 27 day. Let's see. The Angels and Athletics game, you got to love 5-8. Angels is 58. Oakland's 58. This was another one of the conflicted 26 games. We talked about how the Athletics could get their 26th loss, but also Oakland had a chance to become 4-1 on the season against the Angels, and that's the big number in Oakland, 41. So let's see. Brewers and Twins. Brewers and Twins. We saw that the Twins pitcher coming in was 44-44 and 4-3 for the season, and it was a 44 date. We said, all those 44s lining up on the 44 dates, very interesting versus the Wisconsin team. So Brewers did end up edging out the Twins. Okay. Again, the Reds and Pirates split to get them 26-26. The Mets stayed on 26 wins, picking up their 27th loss yesterday. DeGrom had a chance to become 3-6. Dodgers is 36 in both reduction ciphers. If you use the rule for S, Dodgers is also 45. Kershaw had a chance to become 4-1. LA's 41. DeGrom had a chance to become 1-4. LA's 14. So neither of those things happened. We did see the Dodgers could get the 20th home win on the 71 date, 71, the 20th prime. Made them 20-6 at home in their 26th home game. And the Mets manager, he got his 112th loss outside of New York like we thought he would. So, yeah, they did have one date numerology riddle. It was tough because the Mets, the 26, they were on 26 wins and losses, so it could have gone either way. And then the Rangers-Mariners game. There were two ways that we saw this. This one was tricky too. The Rangers could have got their 26th win or loss yesterday. Had the Rangers won, they would have made the Mariners 2-6 against the Rangers on the season. But the other thing we saw is that if the Mariners won, they'd have a good chance at winning 2 in a row. The Rangers are now 8-18. Yesterday they were 8-17. If the Rangers lost again, they'd be 8-19. 19's the 8th prime. Seattle's 19. Get that prime number relationship. And now the Rangers, they can pick up their 27th loss on the 27 day as well. So there were a lot of conflicting riddles, but, the Reds look good if the Pirates won game 1 and the Yankees look good. So the games we took stabs at were winners. And this Diamondbacks-Rockies game, it was the other game where we said there was nothing really conflicting with the 26 for the Diamondbacks losing. It was just that Zach Greinke had pitched so well historically against the Rockies and in Colorado. We did point out that he was 5-1 at Coors Field. With a loss, he'd be 5-2. With the win, 6-1. That was tricky because Coors Field was 52 and 61. 52 in the more pure cipher. So anyhow, that was yesterday. We didn't play a lot of games, but if you took the games that I advised, you did all right. So today, let's see here. Let me make this bigger so everyone can read it. Today, the big number, of course, is going to be 27. MLB number. MLB is 27. I guess real quick before I do this, just in case you missed my video on the death of Buckner, I'll show it to you. Maybe in somebody's mind it'll spark a thought I didn't have. But again, Bill Buckner died yesterday. We were looking for World Series riddles, and then we get the death of the man who made the most infamous error in recent World Series history. 33 years ago, the 86 World Series. He died at age 69, again on the 147th day of the year, World Series numbers. And he died on his 165th day of his age, big Scottish Rite number. Scottish Rite is 165 and 57 as his World Series 57. Bill Buckner's got that Gematria 46 like sacrifice. Bill Buckner also 71, dead on a date with 71 numerology. The day leaving 218 days left in the year. He died 211 days after the Red Sox won their latest World Series, the 47th prime. And I noticed the Red Sox were playing Cleveland. Cleveland's 33, like how it was 33 years ago. Last year, the Red Sox were playing Cleveland when they tied their all-time win record. But there might be a deeper connection here. Again, it's been the year of Boston sports. So, and I should mention, out of all the games played yesterday, I'm still not coming off the Mariners. I know that they've sunk down, but they got off to that hot start for a reason, and this is a special year for them. And it being the 43rd season, that's a special number in Seattle sports. Seattle Seahawks is also 43. They won their only Super Bowl with 43. So the Mariners can still rally this year and be a playoff team, absolutely, and I think they will be. But just looking for World Series clues yesterday, just out of all the games that were played, let's see. What's up, man?
Hey, I saw that 116 pop up again yesterday. William Joseph Buckner equals 116.
And so does Memorial Day. Memorial Day is 116.
That's right.
Huh.
So.
Okay.
Something that, I know, man. I keep seeing the 116. I see it a lot.
116th World Series in 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something just, I don't know. Maybe store away somewhere.
Okay. Yeah. Good observation. I overlooked that.
Man.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you later.
All
Bye.
right. See you. Okay. Yeah, that 116 was coming up in the playoffs a lot. But the Brewers are one of the teams I'm still considering in the National League. What's up, caller?
Hey, Zach.
Yeah.
Some interesting stuff to tie Minnesota and Seattle.
Okay.
Is Minnesota is the second team ever to hit 100+ home runs in the first 50 games since the '99 Mariners with Griffey, I think.
Okay.
Yep. And there's a little riddle going on with the Oakland A's and the Golden State Warriors. The Oakland A's, they have a player named Chris Davis. He's known for like hitting dingers. He's like the man. He's
right.
like he's super good, like 40 home runs every year type guy.
Right.
But since he got injured, they're 5-0, and they call him KD. And since Kevin Durant got injured, the Warriors are 5-0 too.
Is that right? I didn't notice that. They're 5-0. Huh.
Yeah, and the Oakland A's, they're on a 10-game winning streak too, so we need to watch that.
Okay. Golden State equals 50. To use the rule for S.
And this funny ass post that they posted this morning, Adam Scheffner, like he's like a big guy with the NFL. He posted, today marks 100 days until Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears kick off the NFL 100th season, and he puts the 100 emoji behind it.
Huh.
And people don't know that those teams have the 100 connection, and Aaron Rodgers is on 100 wins right now.
Right. It'll be the Bears' 100th season.
You know, he's a little Jewish guy, but I follow him. He's like the top NFL analyst guy, Adam Scheffner.
Yeah, I know who that is. ESPN always goes to him.
Yeah.
So
He posted that on Instagram. It was hilarious. 100 days till they kick off. I think, what is it? Packers is 100 or something like that?
Well, the Packers will – so it'll be the Bears' 100th season, and the Packers were established 100 years ago as of this season, but it'll be the Packers' 99th season. So.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers is on 100 wins.
Right, yep.
All right. I appreciate you. I'm listening.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Again. All right.
Okay, so the Twins just eclipsed a record by the Mariners. That's interesting. But I was just looking at games yesterday and thinking, like, what could be a potential World Series matchup if there's any games going? And it would have to be this game right here. Again, Milwaukee Brewers are one of the teams I'm considering. What is it? Is it Miller Park's 115 where they play? Yeah, Miller Park's 115. It'll be the 115th World Series. They're originally from Seattle. If I'm off on the Mariners, maybe it's because the Seattle riddle's running through the Brewers. So they're a team that absolutely has a shot in the National League. And then, hey, who could knock the Twins right now? I mean, still a lot of season left. There's over 100 games, but them and the Astros are the two hottest American League teams. So that's interesting about the Seattle and Twins record. I'm going to look more at that. But I didn't see any other real big clues. I was looking for him yesterday. The Bill Buckner thing stood out. But none of these other games really did. So Brewers and Twins had a good score too. 5-4, baseball's 54, Major League's 45. But still trying to lock into that World Series riddle. So I was hoping I would see some real clear World Series score. Notice the Mariners won 6-2 or 2-6 on the 26th date. Seattle Mariners is also 62. So Mariners can get hot again. Might be hard to win the division with the way the Astros are playing. But again, a lot can happen over the next 100 games. So, okay, let's do today's games. So I'm taking the Yankees again today. I think the Yankees have a real shot at sweeping this series. Lines up perfectly with the date numerology. Again, Aaron Boone can get that 137th win as a manager. If they sweep, San Diego Padres is 137. Manny Machado joined the Padres 137 days from his birthday. So Padres equals 27. Today has the 27 date numerology. They can pick up their 27th loss. Friend in Arizona, there's his number. If the Yankees won today, they would be 11-6 against the Padres. I don't think that connects to these teams. No. San Diego Padres and New York Yankees are both 65. See if we get a 6-5 score in this series. The only thing that goes against the Yankees today, the only red flag I saw, or I won't call it a red flag, but the only potential scare is Tanaka could get his 38th career loss, and San Diego does equal 38. But I haven't seen a lot of things lining up with pitchers and Gematria and actually working out. Unless, like, the only time that I've seen the most recent example I can think of was nearly 2 weeks ago, and it was a Twins game. It's where the Twins were going for the correct win number on the date numerology, and their pitcher was going for his 58th career win on the 58 date against the Angels, and Angels was 58. All of that worked out, but it seems like the pitchers' potential records have been decent indicators when they line up on both sides. But nowhere near as good as the date numerology. So I guess one other thing I could say for the Padres is that if Lauer got the win, he'd be 10-11, 1-0, 1-1, kind of like 111, New York 111. But I'm thinking the date numerology is more where it's at, and Boone getting to those 137 wins. So if he lost today, that would be off the table. But the date numerology is still there. And then we'd go into tomorrow, the 28 date numerology. The Padres could still be on 28 wins. They could potentially be 28-28 on the 28 date. Okay. Pirates and Reds, we got the problem with, now that it's 26 and 26, the 27 could go either way. However, the Reds are now 2-6 versus the Pirates this year. If they lost, they would be 2-7. And from the Pirates' perspective, they would be 7-2. We have 27 and 72 date numerology. Again, today's date numerology 72, 45, 27, the lesser method 52. So I think for that reason, I'd give a slight edge to the Pirates, just because the season head-to-head record would make a lot of sense. Okay, the Tigers and the Orioles. It's the 52nd game. Today, for the Tigers, it's their 52nd game today, and then that got me thinking what the next game would be the 53rd game. Let me make sure. I thought this through right. Yeah. So tomorrow they'll play the 53rd game, and 53 is the 16th prime. So I was wondering, could they hold off on that 16th away loss today and have a shot at it in their 53rd game? The only concern is Boyd, if he lost today, he'd be 4-5 on the 45 day. But I have seen a lot of these prime numbers in the home and away record work out with the overall total games and count. So it's got me leaning Tigers today to hold off on that 16th away loss again until potentially tomorrow. But there's not a date numerology to go off of. We like to have that. So the other thing I should mention is Detroit equals 37. Orioles on 37 losses. If they were able to win a couple, they could stay. So it's another thought there. Oh, and actually, I realized I was missing something else. Orioles could become 8-19. Again, 19, the 8th prime. So if the Tigers picked up the loss today, I would think they'd probably stay on 16 away losses tomorrow in their 53rd game. But yeah, that prime number relationship right there, I almost overlooked that. So 19, the 8th prime, we've seen a lot of that in records. It's hard to go against. I'm not crazy about this game. I'd probably just let that one go. But I think tomorrow, probably a big clue there with the Tigers. 53rd game in the 16. The Cardinals are 26-26. Again, that 27 could go either way. It's the Phillies' 29th home game. 29 is the 10th prime. But that's the prime number relationship pattern that has not been consistent. You know, you would I would think based on what we've done over the years that being in that 29th game, they'd stay at 10 home losses, but that's just the pattern, the one prime pattern that hasn't worked out in baseball very well. So it's probably 50-50 at best. So I can't assume they're going to stay on 10 losses in their 29th home game. The Phillies have definitely been the better team this year. If Wainwright did lose, he would become 4-5 on a 45 day, and Phillies does have that 45-45 connection. So I guess I should make that point. So if I was going to bet this game, I still would take the Phillies. They've just been the better ball club. I wouldn't do it because of the prime thing. I'd do it because Wainwright, it would make sense for him to be 4-5 against this team on this date. Okay. The Indians, if they could win today, they would get to 27-27. They're a heavy underdog. It's a type of game where you could take the team to cover, but they definitely got the date numerology today. Let's see. The Indians pitcher does not have a lot of history. I should run his Gematria since let's see if there's anything new about it. Let's see, please say 106 pitching in. Or no, never mind. I think he's pitching against somebody else. David Price, he had a short start the other day and came out early. Not sure what was wrong, but he just pitched on the 145th day of the year. Remember, we talked about that, how he was at 145 wins pitching on the 145th day. I think he only pitched like an inning. He's on 77 losses. Oh, you know what? That's what I forgot. 77 is that big number in Boston. Boston 77, so it was Red Sox. But he could get his 78th loss today. Cleveland is 78. So you got a date numerology riddle and a fitting opponent for his 78th loss today. Okay, Blue Jays and the Rays. Yeah, I didn't see any great clue in this game. So nothing was jumping out to me about this one. Let's see. The Giants pitcher today against the Marlins, he could get his 72nd career win on the 72-day. And again, there hasn't been a lot of pitcher riddles coming through unless they also have the date numerology lining up. But it's the only thing up here on the board for this game. Actually, I take that back. The Marlins are 44-52 at home. And we do have the lesser date numerology of 52 too. So if the Marlins won today, they would get their 45th win at home versus the Giants, and they could stay at 52 losses. So the date numerology is there for the overall wins. Miami's a slight favorite. So the riddle goes both ways in that game. Seems there's been a little bit more consistency, though, with picking up the wins for teams all time. More consistent than through the pitcher riddles. Okay. The Nationals and the Braves. Now, I'm pretty sure the Braves have a 99 connection, just like the Diamondbacks. Let me put up the exceptions up here. What's up, caller?
Yeah, what's going on? I was gonna bet this game right here for the Atlanta and Washington, so I was just gonna see if you could do like an extra couple minutes in depth in this game.
Sure.
All right, and I noticed Braves on that 7-game road trip they just did. They put up 33 runs.
Huh.
So, and they can get Washington their 33rd loss.
Okay, Nationals equals 33. Atlanta on the 33rd parallel. Okay.
Okay, I think ATL is 33 too.
It is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but if you could just do the pitchers, the managers, and if you can, because I was going to place a bet. I don't understand why I said you pick them. But from the other sports show I was watching, they were saying because of Strasburg, it's a sexy name versus a name like Freed. But Freed is one of the best IAs, so I still don't get the line.
Yeah, he's pitching well this year. He's 7-2 right now on the 72-day. Okay.
Right. Well, I'll let you get to it.
All right. I'll see what else we can dig up here.
All right, appreciate it.
Yep, welcome. Okay, so for whatever reason, I didn't have a lot of notes for this game. Maybe it's because I was struggling to find things, but it's going to be the Nationals' 27th away game and the Braves' 27th home game. And all right, here, let's just see if any overlap numbers come up here. Strasburg. And I was wrong about the Braves having the 99 connection. I guess that was just the Diamondback series I'm still thinking about they had earlier this year. What's up, caller?
Hey, Zach. So the next win for the Braves will be their 367th. That'll be the 73rd prime. And tomorrow has a date numerology of 73. So I'm thinking the Nats win today and the Braves win tomorrow since they have a 2-game series. So.
That's a really good observation. I'll put that up on the screen right now. Great work.
Yeah, that's about all I got.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. MLB team head-to-head records. Let me see. I must have looked right over that because I know I went through all these, unless somehow I just skipped the Braves game. Okay, the Nationals' next loss to the Braves is 367, like he said. That's right. 367. That is the 73rd prime. Okay, that's a great observation. Nationals' next loss to Braves is 367, 73rd prime. So, yeah. Tomorrow, 73 date. Okay. 163 and 194 away. If Strasburg lost, he'd be 4-4 in Georgia. Georgia's 44. Do the Nationals have an 82 connection? They do. Washington Nationals is 82. So this guy could get to 8-2 versus the Nationals. That's just the one thing. The Braves pitcher could get to 8-2. Washington Nationals is 82. But again, those riddles have not been consistent, even when things line up. If the Nationals did lose today a day early, I think they'd have a good chance to win tomorrow and stay on that. What's up, caller?
Hey, Zach.
Yeah.
You don't measure from the pitcher's birthdays anymore?
Well, like I said, it wasn't helpful. It was leading me in the wrong direction more often than not, because we kept like seeing pitchers that have amazing alignments and then it didn't come through. I was like, okay, this must just work in the playoffs, because historically that's where I've done that.
Not leading through the pitches, but just like extra, you would use it.
What do you mean?
Because I've been going crazy over here. I haven't lost a game this week.
Really?
Yeah, I've been killing it. Yesterday, the Cubs came back, hit the run line.
Okay. For measuring from pitchers' birthdays, or what's your strategy this week?
Well, this week I've just been following the numbers. I haven't even been using that other date. You know how you set it up on your computer? I got the same exact formation, but I just throw away like 3 dates. I only use 2 dates. I keep the other dates in mind, but I don't really use them.
You're saying you don't use the lesser date numerology?
The lesser date, you know, the one that you have the star with, I only use that for all-time NBA.
Okay.
That's money in all-time NBA. The one with the star, that's like the asterisk. That's that date numerology. If it lines up, like if the Houston Rockets are going to get their 17th win against this team on and that has a 59 date, it's money guaranteed. It's like 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10.
Okay.
But I think you shouldn't spend a lot of time with this game. I think the Cubs have a good riddle today. The Cubs, Rockies, and Seattle.
Seattle has a good riddle. The Cubs,
yeah,
the Astro would be
Texas is 24.
Right. Astros would be picking up the 148th loss on the 148th day of the year. Is that what you're saying there with that?
Yeah, the Cubs got to get their 31st win in Houston.
I think they play one more game there. But picking up the 148th loss on the 148th day makes sense.
Yeah, the line is like crazy on this one. The line yesterday was 180. Now it's 120. So the books favor the Cubs to win this game, even though Houston is the favorite.
Sure.
And there's a lot of picks on Houston, but I mean, there's a lot of good games, dude. There's been so many good games this week.
Sure. Well, I mean, we've been doing overall pretty well. I thought a lot of games were conflicted yesterday, but the two I like both came through. So.
All right, and well, I'll call about this tomorrow. All right.
All right. Appreciate it. Okay. So yeah, the interesting thing is Freed, if he won, he would be 8-2. Washington Nationals is 82. His record would make perfect sense. But those are the riddles that haven't come through like you think they would. And then really good observation about how the Nationals' next loss to the Braves is 367, the 73rd prime, and tomorrow has 73 date numerology. That does tend to make me think that tomorrow would be the more fitting day for that loss. But if they picked it up today, they could also stay on that tomorrow, stay on that amount of losses on the 73 day. So let me pull up the managers real quick here. Nationals manager. Let's see. The Nationals manager. Again, his next win is his 105th, and Nationals equals 105. He had 82 wins his first season. Go figure. Washington Nationals 82. Atlanta Braves. Atlanta Braves. They're on those 22 wins right now. Braves is 22. That's right. Okay. Let's see the Braves manager real quick. Brian, whoops, it's not what I want. Brian Snitker. He's 251 and 251, the 54th prime, big baseball number. Remember the upcoming NFL season, you're a Super Bowl 54, all the first Sunday games are on the 251st day of the year. Yeah. Yeah, I can't say that I'm thrilled about this game just because there's no date numerology connection in the record. Tomorrow there will be a date numerology connection. So like the caller said, I mean, it would make a lot of sense for them to pick up that loss tomorrow on the 73rd day. I'd say if the Nationals won today, they would very, very, very likely be losing tomorrow. But there is a chance that they could lose today and stay on that loss tomorrow too, because I just saw that in recent days when we were looking at something similar to this. Just his record being 8-2, even though those riddles haven't come through a lot, they still do come through sometimes. So that's what worries me. Just perfect team to go 8-2 against, just like how last year they won 82 games. So I'd stick with some of these date numerology games before I went with these other ones. And I think tomorrow we'll have a better read based on this. So again, the Astros yesterday, they stayed on 147 losses at home versus the Cubs on the 147th day of the year. Today, they can pick up the 148th loss at home versus the Cubs on the 148th day of the year. The Astros' next win is 37. Chicago is 37. I'll make a note about that. Does Lester actually have that 37 connection too? Yeah, John Lester is 37. Whoops. So that, I guess that's the one concern there for the Astros, that they could get their 37th win off Chicago and John Lester, who both have the 37 in the same cipher. The other thing that did stand out to me about the Astros is if they won, they'd be 22-7, 227. You know how often those numbers show up. But that 148th loss on the 148th day of the year, riddles like that have been pretty good so far in baseball. So if I was going to take the Cubs, I'd take them to cover, just like yesterday. Yesterday they covered. So Okay. The pitcher for the Royals, Keller, he has a chance to become 4-5 on the 45 day. He's 3-5 right now. Chicago's 35. His team did the prime number relationship thing, the 7 and 17 thing. Now remember, they're going to finish up their game today, so these records are going to be different by the time this game comes around, because they're finishing up the suspended game, and yeah, so that's going to make this one tough, based because we don't know for sure what the records are going to be. But regardless, nothing's going to connect to the date numerology. So something to keep an eye on for the Royals, though, in their next 3 games is if they can get to 8 and 19. You'd have those prime numbers. The Brewers and the Twins. Milwaukee's 37. The Twins' next win is 37. If they won, they'd be 19 and 9, kind of like 199 to 46 prime. I don't know if I want to do that again. There was a nice riddle with that the other day, and it didn't come through. But Milwaukee does have that 37 and 46 connection. The Twins are at 241 wins right now versus the Brewers. That's the 53rd prime. Milwaukee's 53. Yesterday was Memorial Day, Memorial 53, or Memorial Day 53 like Milwaukee. They won on Memorial Day, keeping them at 241. Tomorrow's going to have the lesser date numerology of 53. There was really nothing screaming out in this game because there's not any date numerology connections. It's just Twins' next win is 37. And Milwaukee's 37. And then, of course, 2 wins from now, they'll get to 38. Minnesota's 38. Let me look at their schedule real quick. Both these teams. Twins. Okay. So they could get their 37th win over Milwaukee before playing Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Rays. Okay. About the Brewers schedule. Brewers play the Pirates next. Because again, a lot of times teams will go into the next opponent with a record that connects to that team. Pittsburgh Pirates, I don't think they're going to have that type of record, though. Yeah, it's not going to work out, though, in this case. But yeah, unfortunately, not a real great clue. It would make sense, though, for the Twins to get that 37th win against Milwaukee. Milwaukee does have the 37 connection. So I think I'd lean that way just because of that 137 there. Diamondbacks, again, could pick up the 27th loss on the 27 date. The Rockies would stay on 27. That would take the Diamondbacks into tomorrow on 28 wins on the 28 date. And let me make sure these teams are... Yeah, they got a couple more games against each other. So it would make sense to me for the date numerology to follow another game Tomorrow would be tough if that happened, though, because then tomorrow either team could pick up the 28. Diamondbacks have a chance of becoming 28 and 28. But yeah, I'm thinking date numerology coming through for one more game here. Rockies is 35 and 44. Their pitcher could become 4-4 in this game. It could go either way, though. Okay. Yeah, I'd take the date numerology, another game there. And then I do like the Mariners to beat the Rangers tonight. Rangers can pick up that 27th loss on the 27 date. And again, that would make the Rangers 8 and 19 away. You get that prime number relationship, 19, the 8th prime. Seattle's 19. So that makes some sense to me. Check one more thing here too, real quick. Rangers, yeah, 44. Texas Rangers, 52. If the Rangers lost tomorrow as well, they could theoretically get their 28th loss on a 28 date in Seattle when you use the rule for S. +9 for the S. Seattle's also 28. So it's been a while since the Mariners had a nice streak of wins. But I think they got the numbers tonight. So okay, Angels Athletics. Again, yesterday the score was 5-8. Oakland's 58. Angels is 58. Let me see here. They still haven't put in the pitcher. It's always tough when you don't have both pitchers. Yeah, I didn't see a great clue for this game here, especially with the other pitcher missing. Just make sure I'm not missing something in the Gematria. Angels. Athletics. Yeah, Oakland's a big favorite. I just without the one thing about Montas is he could become 7-2 on the 72 date. So it's about the only thing to go off of there. Oh, you know what else? There actually is one other thing. Los Angeles Angels is 139. He could become 13-9. So, and what is it? Is it Anaheim, California? Anaheim, California, is that what it is? Anaheim, California is 139 too. So Montas's record could actually make a lot of sense with the win. 7-2 on the 72 date, 13-9 for his career versus a fitting opponent. So you don't have the date numerology there, and you're missing a pitcher. So maybe on this game, wait till closer to game time. Maybe they stick in a pitcher, and you go, oh, his record would be perfect with a loss today. Usually, when the pitcher records line up on both sides, that's a good indicator. Like the Orioles-Detroit game yesterday, that ended up being what it was. Okay, Mets and Dodgers. The Mets with a win today would be 27-27. And, for the last week or so, whenever we've gotten a team that could have the record on both sides with the date numerology, it's been perfect for the last week. So, again, all streaks break, but that's been a high percentage player. 27 and 27 on the 27 date. Very possible. I noticed the Dodgers' next win versus the Mets is 343, which stood out to me because Los Angeles, California is 343. But it doesn't have to come in this game. Their next loss is 271, which is the 58th prime. So I don't see how either of those really sync up with the date. But the 27 and 27 on the 27 date numerology, it'd be a nice payout too because the Dodgers are a huge favorite tonight. So it's the risk reward play. But there's a handful of games here with date numerology that have good riddles. So again, Padres can pick up the 27th loss on the 27 date. They could also pick up the 28th loss on the 28 date tomorrow, and they'd be 28 and 28. If that does happen, Aaron Boone, the manager, will get his 137th win as a manager. San Diego Padres 137. The Pirates, if they were to win today on the 27 date numerology, the Reds would become 2-7 against the Pirates on the season. 2-7 like 27. The Pirates would become 7-2. We have a 72 date numerology, 72 date numerology as well. You know, the Pirates, the win or loss could be 27, but just the head-to-head record for the season makes me lean Pirates. The Orioles have a chance at doing the prime number thing. 8 and 19. 19's the 8th prime. But this game was a little bit conflicted here. I know tomorrow will be the Tigers' 53rd game. 53 is the 16th prime. I'm thinking after tomorrow's game, the Tigers will be at 16 away losses. Do they pick that up today, or do they pick it up tomorrow in their 53rd game? Again, the prime numbers, definitely not a perfect pattern, but one that hits, I would say, at least a ratio of 2 out of 3. So the Orioles could win. They'd stay on 37 losses. Detroit's 37. All right, Cardinals and Phillies. Again, the Cardinals could get their 27th win or loss. Wainwright with a loss would be 4-5 on the 45 date, and Phillies equals 45 in both reduction ciphers. So I got to lean Phillies that way just because the loss and the Wainwright loss makes the most sense out of the riddles that are on the board. Phillies could stay at 10 home losses in their 29th game. 29 is the 10th prime. But again, that prime number relationship, the total game count home and away in the prime number relationship, that's the one that hasn't been working out. Not with any type of consistency. 50-50 at best, which means it's nothing. But it would also factor in here with just some of the other riddles we're looking at with the Wainwright record. Indians, heavy underdog today, could get to 27 and 27. I'm thinking at least one of these two upsets is going to come through with the teams that are negative 200. So that's the Dodgers and Mets and the Red Sox and Indians. But Indians could even it up at 27-27 on the 27 date. Price could pick up his 78th loss. Cleveland equals 78. Okay, Blue Jays and Rays. Again, I didn't see anything for that game. Nothing there. At least not that my eyes are catching. The Giants game. The pitcher could get his 72nd career win on the 72 date. That definitely stands out. However, the Marlins could also get their 45th home win today on the 45 date numerology versus the Giants. So to me, that's danger. That is danger right there. If I had to go with one of these riddles over the other one, I'd take the Marlins' 45th win at home on the 45 date, staying at 52 losses on the lesser 52 date numerology. But I still wouldn't be crazy about it. Again, the team records have been a lot more consistent than the pitchers, but sometimes the pitcher record prevails. So You always want to find the pitcher riddle that also lines up with the team win-loss record. If you can get both riddles to stack on the same side, that's when you know you're in business. Okay, Nationals and Braves. Caller made the really good observation that the Nationals' next loss to the Braves is 367, which is the 73rd prime, and tomorrow has a 73-date numerology, which would be an absolutely perfect day for the Nationals to pick up that loss. However, the pitcher for the Braves is pitching very well this year, Max Fried. If he won today, he would be 8-2, and Washington Nationals is 82. So makes that tough. I think by the end of tomorrow's game, the Nationals will be at 367 losses. So if the Nationals did win today, I would definitely count on that loss tomorrow on the 73 day. Again, they're at 22 wins. Braves equals 22. So yesterday, the Astros again stated 147 home losses against the Cubs on the 147th day of the year, which means today they could get the 148th home loss on the 148th day of the year against the Cubs. That sounds, like not such a bad riddle. The only thing that's concerning is the Astros' next win is 37, and John Lester equals 37, so does Chicago. So, and you know what? I think Astros is 34. Oh, no, it's actually 43. It's 43. So Lester could get to 4-3. I got to make a note about that too. Just the other thing that worries me too is just I see so much 227 decoding sports. If the Astros won, they'd be 22-7. So I'm not crazy about this game right here. Not by any stretch of the imagination, but I do keep looking at this 148th loss on the 148th day of the year. So I might just let that one go today, though. The John Lester 37 thing makes me anxious about that. All right, again, these teams are playing, well, they're finishing a suspended game today and then playing one more. The thing to look for the Royals in their next 3 games, today they're going to get 2 of those, is to see if they become 8-19 away, those prime number relationships. But today I don't see any great clue for the game. Brad Keller would have a chance at becoming 4-5 on the 45-date numerology. But, again, don't like to lead with the pitchers. Okay. It's the last game of the series between the Brewers and Twins. If the Twins did win today, they'd get their 37th win of the season against Milwaukee. Milwaukee's 37 in the most pure cipher. We don't have date numerology to go with. I guess the other note I should make is 241, 53rd prime. Milwaukee's also 53. But eventually they're going to get that win, so... Let me see here. They changed their pitcher since I did the... Okay, so the Twins have a different pitcher in now. Let me look at this. Let me see if this guy has any major league stats or if he's a new guy. That's not who was in here earlier. No, sir. His name's 37 too, like how they're going for that 37th win against Milwaukee. All right, let me change this. All right, let's see if he's got stats. Maybe not. This looks good. Maybe brand new guy here. All right, he's a new guy. So he's getting his major league debut, September 7th birthday. Let me see. 263 days after his birthday. I always forget, is that number prime? 56th prime number. Okay, 56th prime number. His name's Devin Smeltzer. Devin. It's going to be the Brewers' 56th game of the season. Minnesota Twins. Brewers. Milwaukee. Brewers. Well, it is interesting that his surname's 37. He could pick up his team's 37th win and Milwaukee's 37, but he's going against Davies, who's been perfect this year. 37 is the number that jumps out, though. No doubt about it. Again, Diamondbacks can pick up the 27th loss today. Rockies can stay on 27 losses on the 27 date. So I'm going to play that date numerology one more time there with that series. Then we'll have to reevaluate tomorrow. Because tomorrow the 28s could line up in a number of ways. Let's see here. And then I do like the Mariners today. Rangers pick up the 27th loss, become 8-19 away. The prime number relationship could very well get their 28th loss tomorrow on the 28 date because Seattle equals 28. So that's making some sense. And we still don't have a pitcher for the Angels, but again, Montas, he's got the record today. He could become 7-2 on the season on the 72 date, and he could become 13-9 for his career. Los Angeles Angels 139, Anaheim, California 139. We've seen that number a lot with the Angels this year. And then Motts can get his team to 27-27 on the 27 date. So there's some nice upset plays. And when you go for these big upsets, I think it's not bad to put half on cover and half on the win and maybe mix up some parlays too. So, because these are the big multipliers when they come through. So. The Dodgers' next win, again, is 343 at home versus the Mets. Los Angeles, California is 343. Los Angeles is also 37. And tomorrow we'll have that 73 date numerology, the reflection of 37. So, yeah, I'd play the 27s today. I think that's where it's at. All right, tomorrow, same time, and tomorrow we'll take a stab at the PGA. Again, we're going to start doing PGA on Wednesdays. That Justin Rose riddle, man, it was awesome last week. I'm surprised he didn't play better. We saw that Finau was a guy who could very well place. He played well. He had the connections to the tournament, so Finau placed. But the surprise of the week last week for PGA was Justin Rose to me. I mean, his riddle was dynamite, and he just did not have a good tournament. So that's the thing about the PGA, though. I mean, it's a field of 100 and some people, so there's a lot of riddles out there. That's what I was saying. That's why PGA is tough. But the Tiger Masters riddle, that one was just too easy. It's Tiger Woods, and it was all master numbers. So, but I really thought Justin Rose was going to have a good tournament. So we'll take another stab tomorrow. Of course, we'll do the rest of the games, but we'll also do the PGA. That'll be the new thing. PGA on Wednesday. And pretty soon we're going to start gearing up for the NFL too, see if we can figure out all the division winners and stuff. And if you want to start doing your homework in the meantime on the NFL, look at the last time teams won the division, how many years it's been. Like if you see a team where it's been 19 years since they won the division, things like that, those will be some big clues. So All right, you guys, good luck today. I'm going to put up the review video in just a minute, and we'll be back at the same time tomorrow. Till next time.